feel like there are a lot of the people calling in are a part of a church already? Or do you feel like it's kind of a mixed bag, half and half? Like, how much, if you had to take a guess or put something out there, like how, in your experience, does it feel like a lot of the people we support calling in are calling in and they're already a part of a church, or are they just like not completely disconnected from the church even?
I would say for most of the people I speak with are not connected to church. At the most, they might attend occasionally, but most people, for various reasons, either have quit going to church since they were a child, now they're an adult. Life got busy. I hear that a lot, and or sometimes we're talking to people that they've been living outside and just got inside their first home in many, many years. That's a huge adjustment. And that's attending church or getting familiar with a church family wasn't priority because the need was just so great.
With all the people calling in, and you guys referred or mentioned a little bit about how we have folks calling in for things like rent assistance, that in our network right now, we don't currently have those resources to cover that. But for the people who do call in, and they are people who we can connect to support from our churches, like, who are those kinds of people? What, out of all the different people that we've worked with, what kinds of situations are people in who are actually getting that direct support through the LoveINC network, not just by a referral that we make to them?
I think mostly unemployed. Again, many of them recently housed after being homeless for a long period of time, or recently in safer housing after having been in a domestic violence kind of situation for a long time.
From your experience, when you're speaking, when people are calling in, how do they usually find out about LoveINC? How do they know to call us for support or help?
I think a lot of times they've bumped into someone else that's been helped by LoveINC, especially if they live in certain communities that might have just overall, that area might be more in need. And so they're connecting with other people. Sometimes I see multi-generational connection. My mom was helped by you. Trying to think. I think it's not very many church referrals, which is interesting. I hope that changes. I want to see churches referring people to us, but right now it doesn't seem like we get very many church referrals.
We do get a number of people that find us on 211. And then a lot of Clackamas County, like agency workers, in various places in the county, refer people to us.
Caseworkers.
Yeah. So, which is great. It feels like we kind of have a partnership with the county, really. I mean, it's not an official partnership, but they know that we're here to be supportive. And a lot of those, if they're a reference for clients, so I talk to them, they're very appreciative. There's a mutual respect for what we're doing, and we respect them for the ways that they're serving people too.
And that's great that even the county can recognize that LoveINC, but more importantly, the church is a place to turn to for help and support for people in our community. So with all the people that we help, with all the people we have calling in, do we have a lot of people who call in for help and then come back to us again, a month, 6 months, a year later for support? Do we have a lot of people kind of returning to us for continued support, or is it kind of like we help you and then we never hear from you again? Like, what can you guys give us an idea? Obviously, we don't necessarily have all the specific numbers, but like just an idea in your anecdotal experience, what's that like?
Well, it's all of the above. It's a range. We do have people who have reached out to us for help periodically over a lot of years. We have a lot of new people. I mean, a lot. I was just doing some data entry today and noticing how many of those. I did like 15 or 20 files, maybe, and the bulk of those were all new numbers, new people reaching out. But then we have some who just every now and then need some support again.
Yeah, and so I guess kind of wrapping up this discussion, thinking about our Healthy Habits program that Robin Keating, you run and direct that program, and Robin Fleming, you are a huge part of that program as well. Thinking about that and how we really want to see all of those people calling in come into more long-term connection with our church partners, more to be closer in proximity to them, and so we can really help see them grow and transform. What is the general like interest level in that program? I know you guys mention that a lot of the times on the phone. What's the general like interest level in that? And then do we find that a lot of people expressing interest are also then, when the time comes, able to get into the program? Or is there like a barrier that I'm interested, but not right now, or maybe later, or, oh, I can't because of this or that, like what has that been? What has the interest level been like for you guys?
I would say majority are interested. The majority want to be a part of it. I've had a few people like work conflicts or transportation conflicts, but the majority are very interested in taking the class. And then I think by the time the next session comes, we're calling them to see if they're coming. Depending on what kind of life has been going on, some might have moved. Because during all this time while they're wanting to be in the class, they are also still facing their challenges. And so some of them move, some of them might have transportation difficulties. And then others are just waiting until we have the next session. So I think it's pretty high, the interest to actually coming.
Yeah, I would second that. And I think we've talked about this because we've had an awful lot of interest in the program expressed. And I feel like the last 2 or 3 months, the kinds of responses I'm getting from people when I tell them that it's coming again, that we're going to start a new round of classes, that it isn't just a lighthearted interest. It's, I want that. That's exactly what I need. And I'm getting a lot of that. But I also, and we've struggled some. We've had conversation about how when it comes around to actually signing up and then staying in the class, the numbers drop off. But I think we've needed, I think a good thing about, well, how do I say this? We have felt disappointed that we don't see a turnout that matches the expressed interest. But that has really forced us to find value in what we're doing apart from the numbers. And that's not to say we don't want to continue pushing the program and encouraging people to come and making it possible for them to come. But we also are have been in a season of learning that the value of what we're doing, the ministry, is not, well, we want everybody to get it and be helped. Sure. And as many people as possible to participate in the classes. Not all fruit that is born is about the numbers. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm not putting this very well, but
I get like we have high expectations because there is such high interest that you're seeing, right? But then when maybe that the actual fruit of people coming and attending and sticking with it isn't as high as the interest, it can feel a little disappointing. Like, well, there seemed to be so much more excitement, but we can't get caught in the numbers, because when we get caught in that, then we overlook that one person whose life was changed because of the ministry. And it's like, that's not insignificant. That person's life is their life. Like, that's huge. And so we can't be caught up in, are we having, we have 100 people interested. Are we having 100 people join and go through the whole program and stick with it? Like, no, we're probably not. There's probably going to be some drop off in that. That's just kind of how things are.
For me, it's a reminder of God's timing. I think of the scripture about I make plans, but it's Him that directs the path. And so I know with the people that have attended the class, there's been significant change. Even those that maybe we had a few that just made it like through half of the class, I still believe there was significant change. The thing that I also see is what's happening in even the volunteers, the growth that I see in the volunteers. And, God just takes all of that and works it all for good. And so it's teaching us a lot about ourselves, how we approach it. We've been through the class. And so it helps us. I think part of what we're learning is this program is an us and not let me help you. I found the truth. I found the way to go. And if you'll just listen to me with my words of wisdom, you can become more like me. And it's not like that at all. There's a lot of aha moments between volunteers and the people that are coming for growth. Our volunteers are growing, even though that they're coming to be help to their neighbor. It's still what's the word I'm looking for? Interactive, or it's reciprocal. Yes, very much so. I mean, when I watched, especially in our faith and finance class, that's a very much a group setting, and it's like collective wisdom, different experiences coming around the table. I learned this. I saved money doing this, or did you know that if this happens, there's this available? All this knowledge comes together, and it's helping. I think it helps everyone realize that everybody has challenges in life, and it puts us all on the same playing field, so to speak. And so you take your experience, but then you also bring in what you've learned, like what God has taught you, how He's been faithful. This is how I went through that with the God helping me, and he can help you too. And also, I might see it. I might learn of a need that it's teaching me to be more empathetic. Like I never even thought about that challenge before. So it's growth all the way around.
Yeah. And I think that can be easy to overlook. When we're putting on this program to serve our neighbors, it can be easy to overlook the growth that's happening within us, within the people in the supporting the program, and not recognize that like they're there to grow too. They're there to be strengthened in their faith, to grow in just their overall like ability to work through life and find that supportive community, and that the impact that it has on them, the impact that it has on us as people leading and partaking in the program is significant as well.
I also sometimes when I speak to some of the people that have been participating in the class, sharing with them that like they're paving the way for their neighbors to come behind them. Like I'm sharing your story with others, and now they want to come and be a part of this. When I'm able to share with somebody that one of our participants told us that their anxiety was cut in half, well, that rings really true sometimes to the person I'm talking to on the phone. Whoa, I really struggle with anxiety. Maybe I could get help too. All the different experiences that are shared.
Eating a meal together before we break up into the classes has been really, really important and has helped to been part of diminishing that us versus them kind of mentality. We're really a community together. I've also experienced, as a volunteer in the program, having one of the class participants kind of continually check up on me about a goal that I said I was working toward. And so it wasn't just about me being a volunteer helping this participant along on their journey. Like they were, it was, again, like you mentioned a bit ago, that interdependence, which is a really good experience to have. Yeah, it's humbling and it's good.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for sharing on this and just this discussion. It's important for us to recognize, and for everybody to recognize, that people we serve are not, we can't put them all in a box and say, oh, it's just people who have this problem or that, or are going through this struggle or facing this challenge. But I think it helps to get an idea of like who are the people that we as an organization, as a network of churches, are setting out to try and support and help and care for. And so just the insights you shared, I think are really helpful for our audience to just better understand more about who we are at Love Inc. and what we're doing, and better just understand how we can help our neighbors more. Just that relational support, it's just still blows my mind of just like all of it. If we just had stronger relationships with other people, if we just had a supportive community around people, we could often find all the support we need with whatever challenges we face. And so I'm thankful to be a part of this and to see the work that you both do in helping make those connections from our churches to those people who are feeling alone, who are isolated, or only have a handful of people in their network they can turn to. So yeah, thank you both. Thank you everybody for joining us this week. Remember to like and share this video with a friend or family member. Subscribe to our channel so you get all the future videos popping up in your feed as well. And we will see you again next time. Thanks.